Alabama head coach Nick Saban is 16-0 against his former assistants, including 4-0 this year. And if things go as expected, he can make that 5-0 on the year with a win in the national championship game. I'm Colby. That's Michael Gunter. And of course, Kyle Brackey. And this is Bootleg. The Flow Sports holiday party was last night, so if the energy level seems a bit low, that's because we used up all of our juice during karaoke last night. You guys feeling okay?
I'm hanging in there.
Doing good. Ready to roll.
I found out this morning that our dates actually legit had us on the hook for Baby Got Back.
That's true.
And we were Saved by the Bell.
Oh my gosh. It was this next song that was on cue for the next song, and then they cut the
shut
band,
it down,
and we were thrilled.
I had no idea how close we flew to the sun, but I'm glad to have avoided that. Since we last did the show, Army beat Navy, Kyler won the Heisman, Kansas State might have made a sneaky awesome hire, and North Dakota State's Chris Kleiman.
The fans aren't too happy about it.
I know, which is very Kansas State fan of them. I don't know who they thought they should have gotten, but Kleiman, maybe they wanted Les Miles.
I mean, I don't know how they put Phil Snyder on such a pedestal that's a tough replacement.
It is, but I mean, you get a guy that has the hardware that he's got. I don't know. I thought it was a good hire for K-State. I could gloat some more about Kyler, but I feel like we did that plenty of justice the other night. The one thing that stands out to me about Kyler is just that someone dug up a tweet from when he was 14 years old.
That was unreal.
That's
and
this new thing that we do.
Held onto it and waited.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know who these people are, but they just like are lying in wait for someone to have an awesome thing happen to them so they can tear them down with a tweet from when they were in junior high school. I don't get it.
Well, especially with these kids getting recruited at like 7th, 8th grade, you can find out or have a good idea of which ones are going to end up stars and hold on to it for years if you want to.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So
it's gross.
That sucked. Kyler does not, though. He's awesome at football, and he now has a really big trophy to add to his trophy cabinet situation. His dad was...
I was going to bring it up.
Like, oddly not pumped to be there.
We had a pretty good theory of that. I think he's jealous.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. I was actually doing a little Twitter research, speaking of researching old tweets, to try to figure out if Kevin Murray was genuinely not pumped to be there. He did retweet one of his quarterbacks that he trains during the Heisman Trophy ceremony.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Maybe he wasn't
On his
super locked
phone?
in. Yeah. Yeah.
Bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
It was really weird.
Kyler stole his shine. I don't know.
It's a whole weird family thing, too. The mom was like, yeah, I don't really care about sports.
I know.
Just want Kyler to be happy.
Yeah, it was not. The whole. To be honest, I mean, like, I don't know a whole lot about Dwayne Haskins' family because they barely paid attention to him during the thing. But you've got Tua, whose parents moved from Hawaii to Alabama, followed their kid to college, which is all of our worst nightmare. And then you've got Kyler's dad, Texas A&M legend, but apparently a little bit jealous of his kid. And then you've got mom who, like, outwardly does not care about football at all. And then their son is just the next Bo Jackson, no big deal. So
Bizarre.
weird Heisman ceremony, but the ending was perfect. And with that, we can get into the bowl picks. That's what we're here for. We'll roll through them in chronological order for the most part. Pick them straight up with a confidence number applied to each pick. Because ESPN.com is apparently the only place on the internet to play bowl pick'em, our picks will live there. The name of the group will be FloFootball, which is very creative. I know. You're welcome. And Bracky didn't know we were going to do the Celebration Bowl, but surprise.
It's in there now.
Okay, what do you
I'm
got?
ready to rock.
You want to do it?
Oh, we're
Start
doing that
with
one
you.
first?
Start with you, yeah.
Hang on, I got to
Bowl.
figure out where I put it in here.
Oh, God.
Give me North Carolina A&T for 25 points.
Whoa.
25.
Lock it in.
Whoa.
Lock it in.
What?
All right.
Are you a fan?
I'm a big fan of their work.
Oh, I didn't look at the Celebration Bowl. I don't know, 25.
That's literally what I did. I just threw it in there.
Okay. Hey, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I got North Carolina A&T also. They are the Celebration Bowl team.
They are. That's their game.
Yeah, they've won 2 out of the last 3 of them, so make it 3 out of 4. Confidence of 7.
Ooh, you've been cheating on my notes. I
You got
also have a
7?
confidence of 7 for
Wow.
NCAA&T. Lamar Raynard and Elijah Bell have been cooking of late. Markel Cartwright is still one of the better backs in the country at that level. I feel like A&T rolls.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
25 points.
25 points. Wow. All right, next up, the New Mexico Bowl, North Texas and Utah State. What do you think, Michael?
I actually like North Texas to upset Utah State. This is one of those things, too. I think one of the big drivers for bowls is, yes, talent, yes, track record, but also motivation and where your coach is. So Utah State's coach went to Texas Tech. And actually, North Texas' coach was a big-time candidate for the Kansas State job.
Yep.
He just told the team that he's staying. You know, both teams can score a ton of points. I think Utah State's in the top 5 in the nation in scoring, but Texas Tech still in the top 40. I mean, Texas State. So I like North Texas. I like their motivation to win. Confidence of 5, though.
Well, I'm also on North Texas. I'm a big Mean Green fan. I feel like I drop a fun Mean Green stat about every time we do the show. I don't have any of those today, but Mason Fine's the man. Seth Luttrell, like you said, not going anywhere for at least another year. That's great for bowl prep. Obviously, nothing changes. They did lose Graham Harrell to North Carolina.
Fake news.
Yeah. Oh, fake news?
Yeah, he stayed.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so Graham Harrell's been there the whole time.
So you had texted me about it the other night, and then like 2 hours later, Bruce Feldman's like, nah, he's not leaving.
Oh,
then they just hired
Bruce closer, I guess.
North Carolina just hired Phil Longo, the Ole Miss OC.
Yeah, I saw the Longo hire on the bottom line, but I thought maybe they were going to be co-OCs.
Nah, Harrell's staying and didn't. So
Okay.
I have North Texas too.
Wow.
The coaching search there at Utah State apparently got really messy.
Did it?
Yeah.
I thought they were just going to plug Gary Anderson back.
Right, but apparently, like, the school didn't want that, and just a bunch of, like, big-name donors did and, like, threatened to pull money.
Yeah, anytime you can have your most successful coach in school history back, you should definitely not want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know what the motivation was there not to have him back, but I don't know. I don't feel like Utah State is in a good position right now, although I only gave this 2 confidence points.
I went 26.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah, 26.
As like what, 9-point dogs or something like that?
I don't even know what the line was, but yeah, I think
It's
North
8
Texas
right now.
rolls.
8.
There
Mine
you go.
is 8.
That would be my very good dog if we were doing that.
There you go.
The Cure Bowl, which last year could be seen on FloFootball.com.
I love it.
We do not have Louisiana versus Tulane this year, but we will pick the game. I'm going Louisiana. They got some dudes, not the least of which is their wide receiver, Jamarcus Bradley. He's a legit NFL guy. And that's about all the research I did. I went with a 2 for Louisiana.
Fair. Yeah, I went with a 3. I actually took Tulane. Louisiana has just like no defense, and so I figured if Tulane can get something on the ground, they can win this. Both teams have actually played like big boys. Like Tulane played Ohio State. Louisiana played Bama. Nothing to really draw from those games, but you know, I can't really divvy it up other than just no defense. And Tulane beat Navy to end the season. Maybe there's something there.
Maybe Danny White could reach out to Louisiana and Tulane and figure out how you schedule big teams like that, because apparently he hasn't figured it out yet. I don't know.
I took Tulane with confident points of 9, and it mainly has to do with Tulane burned me earlier in the year when they wore the cool helmets.
Yeah.
I bet on Memphis because Memphis had won like 13 in a row against them and like covered like 12 of the 13.
Right.
But I didn't factor in cool helmets. And
You always have to
you
factor in
know
cool
that
helmets.
they're going to wear their
course.
cool helmets with the mean wave thing on them for the
You're
bowl
right.
game.
How disappointed will you be if they run out in their regular old helmet?
I'll probably fire off some tweets at them. Just let them know. Maybe a strongly worded email.
Then he'll be down 9 points.
Yeah, they win, like you said, they end the season with the win over Navy. They beat Memphis on the year. Also, when did we stop calling Louisiana Lafayette? Or just call Louisiana Lafayette Louisiana? When did that happen?
That's a good point.
Well, Louisiana Lafayette is going for that. I don't think that Louisiana Monroe is a very big fan of that idea. But basically, Louisiana it's kind of like if I wanted to start going like by my initials.
Yeah.
And I just made the decision that like from this point forward, I'm RK, and I just like talked about myself in the third person. That's RK all the time. Eventually, maybe it would catch on. That's pretty much what Louisiana's doing.
Because they just,
they're just calling themselves
yeah,
Louisiana.
all year, like on TV, you would just hear Louisiana. I'm like, who the hell's Louisiana?
Yeah, they did. They just decided they're just going to do it, regardless of what Monroe thinks.
I hate it.
That is a shot to Monroe.
Las Vegas Bowl. Arizona State, Fresno State. Bracky, what you got?
I have Fresno State. By 23 points, 23 confidence points. The Bulldogs are really good. And, they go into Boise, win the Mountain West. And, they still have something to prove here. Gunter hit on it earlier. It's like these bowl games are – what do these teams have to play for? What's their motivation?
Right.
And for Fresno State, you get to 12 wins. You got another Power 5 win to your resume. You still have a lot to play for. Mm-hmm. I think Arizona State isn't N'Keal Harry not playing?
Not playing.
Right. So give me Fresno State.
Yeah, I'm on that train also. I only did 10 points. But Fresno State's got a top 5 defense. Mm-hmm. And so when you take away Arizona State's best player, I like them a lot too. I think they're a legit top 25 team.
Well, I'm going to go against the grain here.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really a letdown for Fresno State. I mean, they're a Memphis holding a lead away from playing in the New Year's Six Bowl, and now they're playing on December 15th. So I agree with you on the motivation, but I just wonder, like, the human element comes into play. You realize that you could have been in the Fiesta Bowl, and now you're playing in the Las Vegas Bowl. I don't know if that has a negative impact on them, but also, like, even without N'Keal Harry, Arizona State should be at least more talented across the board, just given, the difference in recruiting. And I feel like if Manny Wilkins is on, which, again, Fresno State, great defense, and that's not a guarantee, but if Manny Wilkins is on, I think Arizona State has enough dudes to overwhelm Fresno State in that situation.
How many points?
I went 6.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not getting wild with it or anything, but
It's not like Herm Edwards is, like, not going to be pumped up. That
that
guy's psyched for every game.
Absolutely. I mean, Herm would be
he's going to
pumped about whatever, and obviously it's his first bowl game as a coach at Arizona State. They want to win their last game of the year and kind of ride that momentum into the recruiting season. So, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know actually how to say this word, but the next bowl game is the Camellia Bowl. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Can I get a ruling?
I don't know.
Camellia or Camellia? Camella. In any event, Georgia Southern is playing Eastern Michigan in this bowl game I've never heard of. I'm going Georgia Southern because they low-key have, like, some of the best uniforms in college football. So 3 confidence points in Georgia Southern in their cool uniforms. Cool, like classic, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not Oregon, but I like it.
How many points?
3.
3. Yeah, I'm on 4 points for this one that we can't pronounce. But I actually took Eastern Michigan. I wanted to take Georgia Southern just, it's where I'm from. But Eastern Michigan's won 5 out of 6, and they've held their last 3 opponents to 34 points total. So a pretty decent defense with 3 or 4 weeks to prepare for the option. I like Eastern Michigan.
I took Georgia Southern in this one. I had their season over win total, which was only like 6, and they hit 9, so that was nice.
Wow.
Very nice.
And I'm going to ride with them again, 8 points.
Okay. God, you got some high point total. Well, not high, but higher than expected, I feel like, on some of these.
Yeah, I probably do.
The New Orleans Bowl will feature Middle Tennessee State and Appalachian State. Appalachian or Appalachian? What do you prefer?
Ooh, I like Appalachian.
Appalachian.
Yeah,
that's
same.
what I go with as well.
Appy.
Appy State, App State. Obviously, they lost Scott Satterfield to Louisville, and that does worry me. But I think App State is easily the better team. So I went App State with 22 confidence points. Would have been higher if Satterfield was still there, but
Yeah, that's exactly what I have written down in my notes. I want to bet against that with Scott Satterfield gone, but I just think App State, they won 5 in a row. They're better across the board. We saw them at the beginning of the year against Penn State. They're a tough team. One thing I didn't know, though, I thought was pretty interesting is Middle Tennessee State has a father-son duo for coach quarterback.
I didn't know that.
Which I
should have known that because their last name is not, like, generic
still,
at all.
right?
Yeah.
So that would have been a cool story, too. And they're 6-0 against the spread second half of the year. Fun fact. But App State's better.
How many points?
11.
11. I went high with this one as well. 31. I'm going for the win, guys.
We're going to get to the end of this, and he's going to be like, I have 1 confidence point on Clemson over Notre Dame.
Exactly.
No.
He just kept going up. He's like 60 points.
They're just a better team. And I actually did a little research on this one.
Hey.
I read an article. I cannot remember who the player was. He was a starter on defense, but it was essentially like, we're going to go out there and prove that, like, it was us playing You know, like Satterfield did a good job coaching, but it was us that was out there making the plays. So I think they're going to be out there trying to make a statement.
There you go. The Boca Raton Bowl, UAB, Northern Illinois. Gunter, what do you got?
Not a ton on this. Both Group of 5 conference champions. Both have pretty good defenses. Northern Illinois can't win a bowl game. They've lost 5 in a row. So I'll go with UAB.
Bracky, thoughts?
I went with UAB as well. Northern Illinois struggles to score at times, and UAB's defense is really good. I have 21 points on this.
Okay. What'd you have?
6.
6. Well, boys, I went UAB for 30 points.
All right.
I think it's actually low-key one of the best bowls in the early slate. Like you said, 2 Group of 5 conference champions. Bill Clark is the man. He got a program that didn't even exist a couple of years ago, and then they did what they did this year. And, yeah, I think UAB's defense is really, really talented across the board. And offensively, I would expect them to be able to pound Northern Illinois on the ground. So I like UAB. I like UAB big.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah, give me 30.
I like it. I like those big numbers.
Get the Bobcats up next in the Frisco Bowl, Ohio, San Diego State. Bracky, you can lead off with this one.
I'll lead off. You might think I have a high total on this one, but I don't. I have Ohio 7 points, won 5 of their last 6 to end the season, including pounding Buffalo, who won 10 games. Just like the way Ohio's playing right now. Offense is one of the top 10 scoring offenses in the country, and I think they'll be able to score.
Yeah, I'm on Ohio as well for 4. Big Nathan Rourke fan.
Yeah, he's great.
And we love Ohio on the show. So
We do.
give me the Bobcats
Yeah.
for 4.
I'm not going to sit up here and not take Ohio.
have to
Are you
take
kidding
Ohio.
me?
Appreciate it.
Dude, absolutely. Ohio, they've won 5 out of 6. San Diego State lost 4 out of 5. Going the other ways. Ohio scores a lot.
Yeah, tracking the momentum. I like that.
12 points.
12 points for the Bobcats. Gunter's a big Bobcat guy.
I love it.
Huge
I love
Bobcat
it.
guy.
The Gasparilla Bowl, one of my favorite
Goodness.
bowls, will feature South Florida and Marshall. And speaking of teams that are coming in real cold, South Florida was fake good early on in the year, and they enter on a 5-game losing streak. They're at home in this one, which is kind of a unique wrinkle, but they're 1-5 against the spread at home this year, so that really doesn't matter to me. Marshall's defense is pretty elite. I went 12 points, Marshall over South Florida.
I like it. I'm not buying the home field advantage either. Not only they lost 5 in a row, they lost 5 in a row by getting whipped.
Yeah.
Like, these aren't close games.
Nope.
They're not in. Yeah, I like Marshall also. Fun fact, too, Marshall has, like, their 2 best players are named Ty. So,
Okay.
I don't know if you guys can think of, like, a cool nickname with that, like Tie-Dye, Power of Ty, Thai-Food, Typhoon, Tycoon. I don't know. But,
Oh, man.
so, Marshall.
How many points?
Now I want to say, like, by a million. 9.
Yeah, can I raise mine now?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to ride the Typhoon.
Yeah, the
For
Typhoon.
40, please.
Yeah,
I'm all in on it.
Pad Thai.
I have this one at 27 because I do not trust South Florida whatsoever. They, as you said, we all knew they were fake good. We just didn't realize, like,
How fake it was.
yes, how fake it was and
Yeah.
how bad the wheels would fall off.
Right.
And as you mentioned, there is no home field advantage because no one wants to come watch this team.
Nah.
The stadium's also not on campus, so they really have to, like, travel to get there. But I don't know. Fun fact: Marshall's won 2 Gasparilla Bowls before. They're going for their 3rd.
Wow.
So
They're home away from home. You
yeah,
can call it.
exactly.
Who is it really a home game for? You know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So Marshall, 27 points.
The Typhoon and the Thundering Herd rolling. Bahamas Bowl. Florida. I don't know what I put a T
Florida.
there. Florida. Florida International.
This is the one that we can pronounce.
Yeah, that's my bad. I'm sorry. Florida International will play Toledo. Anybody? Anybody? Who wants
I went back and forth on this game. I originally had Florida International. I switched to Toledo. Just got to roll with some action.
How late in the game did you change? Did you copy off Michael's notes there?
No. I did it before I even came in the office.
Likely story.
I did. 5 points on Toledo.
Now I think you're copying my notes.
Ooh.
Maybe I am.
I went FIU 5 points.
Okay.
Toledo is a 5.5-point favorite. I realize that we're not going off spreads, but Butch Davis is 7-1 against the spread this
That's
year.
why I changed it, because remember I told you I did the first 10 like against the spread before you texted me about points, and I had FIU getting with the points.
Yep. Yeah, they're 7-1 against the spread as the underdog this year. And you can take it a step further. Toledo hasn't won or covered in a bowl game since Matt Campbell left for Ohio State. Iowa State. God, I'm really tearing up the Bahamas Bowl here. Sorry. Florida International over Toledo because Matt Campbell left for Iowa State, and since then Toledo has not won or covered in a bowl game. There.
Fun fact. I just realized that I have 2 12s, so and I tried to
I saw you doing the math.
Yeah, I was
over
trying
here.
to push each one up, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! Do not do this on Microsoft Word. Do it in the app. We will fix it. I'm sorry." So for my second 12, Florida International Toledo, I have Toledo. They can score a bunch. Florida International is second in the nation in picks, though, so as long as they don't turn it over in the air more than once or twice, I think they should win.
Okay.
For 12.5 points.
For 12.75 points for Toledo. The Idaho Potato Bowl, which will not feature any Idaho teams this year, will feature BYU, Western Michigan. Raise your hand if you know what to do with BYU.
I have no idea what to do with them.
I gave this 1 point. I have no idea which BYU team will show up to the game. I don't know anything about Western Michigan, full disclosure. So, BYU.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's my analysis.
I love it. This one, you guys are going to laugh at me. I just kind of got lost in the shuffle when I was ordering the numbers. And it hit for 33 points. Let's ride with BYU.
All right.
That's awesome. I'm kind of in the middle. I got BYU at 20.
I just trust BYU more than I trust Western Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Okay.
Which isn't much for either team, I guess.
No, it's
Well,
not at all.
33. I mean,
Well,
big BYU guy over there.
Yeah.
Loves the high numbers.
The Birmingham Bowl, Memphis, Wake Forest. What do you got, Michael?
I got Memphis. I love Darrell Henderson. He's
Same.
so awesome. And I love watching him against bad defenses. So I would love to see him run crazy. I got Memphis for 13.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have Memphis for 28 because of the terrible Wake Forest defense. I just see Memphis scoring at will.
Yeah. So the problem for me was what Wake did to Duke really confuses me. I don't understand
That was very
how that
weird
happened or
game.
what that means.
Yeah.
But, the research for this can begin and end with Henderson. He's
He's
incredible.
awesome.
And since Memphis is not playing Central Florida, they can't blow a huge lead in this one. So I went 8 points for Memphis. Would have been higher, except, again, the Wake Duke thing kind of scared me a little bit.
That's fair.
The Armed Forces Bowl appropriately will feature Army against Houston. It's Army in the Armed Forces Bowl, so obviously I had to go with Army. And, Jeff Monken has done a pretty incredible job there. So
Yeah.
despite the fact that Houston has the additional time to plan for that offense, Houston has been kind of a mess this
Yeah,
year,
I
really
agree.
inconsistent. Obviously, Ed Oliver won't be there. I don't even know if that matters because he's been kind of MIA all year long. But I went Army for 9 points.
I like that. I got him actually at 19. Talk about cool uniforms, too.
Oh, dude, those big
Those
red
look
one
slick
uniforms were incredible.
last weekend.
They should just wear those again.
I agree. Yeah, I think they should be able to use a triple option to pound Houston, especially without Ed Oliver. And remember, Army's defense isn't that bad. I mean, they held OU to 21 points in regulation.
Well, their offense held OU to 21 points in regulation.
Oh, good point.
Can't score if you don't have the ball.
Well,
But that's part of it, right? Like, that's part of the reason Army is so challenging is because offensively you have very little margin for error because you have to take advantage of the opportunities you get when you have the ball because you know that they're going to control the clock for a good portion of the game.
the only scenario where I'd say the best defense is a good offense. You should switch around.
Sure.
But
Let's go with that.
19, Army.
I have Army for only 1 point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell us about your lack of confidence in the armed forces.
I had picked them. Hey, I picked them to win. I'm riding with the troops here. I support the troops.
Hanging on with the troops.
No, I don't know. I just anytime a service academy is going against, and I know Oklahoma's like, you're gonna point to this and be like, well, what happened here? But like you said, Army just kept them off the field. It worries me Houston has superior athletes in that high-scoring offense. I could see it going like Houston's way in their favor.
Sure.
But give me Army with the 1 point.
Okay. The Dollar General Bowl will appropriately feature Troy and Buffalo. I almost gave my pick away. I guess I'll go ahead and give it away. Troy over Buffalo. 15 points. How Neil Brown is still at Troy, I don't know.
Yeah, what a great coach.
Buffalo, I think, is probably going to be the hot pick here, maybe even here. But I'll rock with Brown and the Trojans. They are 8-0 against the spread when playing teams with a winning record, and they have won those games by an average margin of 11 points per game.
Dang.
Well, it's not going to be here because I'm with you. I like Troy.
There we go.
Buffalo, I mean, the way they lost that title game sucks. Straight up.
Well, Ohio they can overpower folks, and Northern Illinois can overpower folks. So Buffalo, probably a victim of their early success and that people thought they were going to be more than what they ended up being. I think that Leopold is doing a really incredible job there.
Yeah.
Buffalo's got to be a pretty hard place to get dudes to come to.
It is.
That's a tough place to recruit.
Like, come here and be the next
Gosh,
Khalil Mack, I guess,
dude.
is all you got.
Yeah.
But, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, and this is pretty much a home game for Troy, which I like in this case with the smaller teams where both of them aren't going to have fans that travel very far
Right.
for this.
Sure.
So to have Troy will be pretty much playing in front of a home crowd, and they actually get their leading receiver back, Damian Willis. So I like Troy for 9 points.
I will not be picking Buffalo. I have Troy for 20 points.
Unanimous.
Anytime.
20-pointer coming from Kyle
Yeah,
Breck. God.
anytime.
Are we keeping track of his points? Because I feel like he's going to run out.
Anytime Buffalo has played someone with a legit defense or someone that can force turnovers like Ohio, like in Northern Illinois, they really struggled. And I think they're going to struggle again here.
Okay.
All right.
There you go. I'm feeling way better about it now. I thought I was going to get some resistance, but instead I've got support for Troy.
None here.
The Hawaii Bowl will feature Hawaii and Louisiana
Always
Tech.
A
does.
tradition unlike any other.
I know.
A Christmas Eve tradition. Except it's not a Christmas Eve. What the heck? Who let this happen? What is going on? I'm pissed now.
Now what's your family going to do on Christmas Eve?
That's what I'm wondering right now.
I went Hawaii, or no, I didn't. I went Louisiana Tech. Hawaii let me down a couple of times this year. I tried to bet on them, and I missed the boat. Like early on, they did some good things, and I was not around for that. And then I tried to come in late, and I got burned a couple of times. And I'm slow to forgive, so I went Louisiana Tech. Also, my late father-in-law and my godfather-in-law both went to Louisiana Tech.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So go family, go Tech.
Yeah. Another team that should
10 points. Forgot to
Louisiana
mention that.
Lafayette being Louisiana.
I think
They
Tech
got
is okay with
Louisiana.
it. They got the Tech on the back end.
Hawaii's getting another home game. I actually like Hawaii for 25 points.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Wow. So all these Hawaii teams can score a ton of points on any given day, and one of the best ways you combat that is you have a good running game to keep them off the field. Louisiana Tech does not have a running game at all, so I don't think they can keep them off the field enough, and I think Hawaii can score in bunches and win. 25.
Wow.
I have Louisiana Tech for 19. Hawaii, like you said, started the year off fast, and since then have not been. Since midway point of the season, they were the first team to get bowl eligible, I think, because they played that first weekend before everybody else. They beat Colorado State. So I think they were the first team to become bowl eligible, and then because they played at like noon.
That's
that
a trivia
Saturday.
question I would never have gotten
There
right.
you go. But since then, they just haven't been the same team. And I like Louisiana Tech.
Okay. The First Responder Bowl, Boston College, Boise State. Thoughts?
Boise, 26.
Damn.
Yeah. BC's got a really good secondary, but I think Boise State spreads it around pretty well. So without them kind of like ball hawking and like picking on covering taking away one receiver and not letting Boise State score, I think they can kind of combat Boston College secondary. And I never really know if A.J. Dillon's healthy or not.
I know.
Which sucks because he's a great running back. But, iffy on him. So I like Boise State, another really good group of 5 team for 26.
Damn, see, now I'm shook because I got Boston College for 11. And I don't have any great reasons for it. I just like Adazio. I like A.J. Dillon when he's healthy.
Yeah.
And that's all I got.
And their game day was nuts.
My
Game day was
points are
great.
going to cause you to be even more shook.
Oh, God.
I've got Boise State for 22.
My man.
I like every time they play a Power 5 team in a bowl game, they always show up. Last year they beat the crap out of Oregon. I just like Boise State in this spot.
Okay. God. Moving on. The Quick Lane Bowl. Georgia Tech, Minnesota. Bracky, what do you have here?
I have no idea. Speaking of teams we don't know what to make, I don't know what to make of Minnesota. They just weird results all year long.
I don't think I've ever gotten them right.
Yeah.
Like when I pick them to win, they lose. When I pick
get
against them, they win.
Killed by Maryland, then they kill Wisconsin, they kill Purdue. I mean, they just have weird losses and then just really big wins up and down the board. Georgia Tech actually finished the season on a really strong note. It's going to be Paul Johnson's last game on the sideline. Give me Georgia Tech 18 points.
Okay. What do you have?
Man, I hate Tech. Gross. I like Minnesota. I only put 14. But again, like I know Minnesota is so volatile. I just like I don't know. I had a feeling that PJ Fleck can like get his team ready.
Row the boat.
Dude, he's like a high fire guy. I feel like he's also like attention to detail can like get his players locked in for the option. And also like I don't think the players are like good riddance. Paul Johnson, not a big deal. I don't think they like want to play for him big time.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
So.
I feel like, I mean, all due respect to Paul Johnson, he did some pretty good things at Georgia Tech, but I just feel like he definitely reached the end of the rope where that program is ready to move in a new direction, in a more exciting, more 2018-19 direction offensively. Yeah. And he's still there, but obviously preparing amid an impending coaching change, I feel like that could be a distraction. And Minnesota hasn't had to deal with that, and they'll come into this game with a month to prepare for the option. So and not only that, a month to prepare for an option attack that every player there knows is about to go out the window. So I like Minnesota. I like them for 19 points.
That's true. And what do players do when you're, a sophomore that got recruited directly for an option team and a new coach comes in with a new system? Like, that's got to be so deflating.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel if you're a running back, absolutely. I think if you're trying to sell a player on that, for the running backs, it's like, okay, guys, we're going to go into the spring. There's going to be an open competition, but now like one of y'all is going to be the feature back in this offense. It's not going to be this, 15 carries for 4 different guys type of thing.
Yeah.
And if you're a wide receiver, like, that's an easy one, right?
Oh,
because
stoked.
now you're just like, oh, my God, I'm going to be the next Calvin Johnson, but in an offense that actually throws the ball.
Yeah.
Which is probably not true because if you're a wide receiver at Georgia Tech, you're probably not that caliber of player, but I think that's a sell. And then obviously if you're a quarterback coming in, like our guy Jordan Yates is committed to Georgia Tech, and I expect him to sign there. I haven't heard anything to the contrary. And he's a guy that can sling it. So I think for him, he's probably got to be pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Kid's a baller.
Well, yeah, and even when I was talking to him, because, I mean, obviously that's the question, right? Like, hey, why would you go to Georgia Tech when you know what kind of offense they run? And he, kind of corrected me on it and was like, well, in my conversations with the coaching staff, they have explained that they actually think the offense is better when it's a 50-50 split run to pass, which we've never seen that. Yeah. But that was kind of how they got him to begin with. So I feel like that moving the offense toward a more balanced approach will definitely benefit him as well. So I do think Georgia Tech will be better off in the long run for it, but I don't think that they'll be better off in the Quick Lane Bowl for it. So, Minnesota, 19 points. This is my favorite new bowl name of the year, the Cheez-It Bowl. Cal, TCU. I've not been a believer in TCU all year. I'm still not. Their defense is not great this year, which is rare for a Gary Patterson team. They've dealt with a ton of injuries. Now they've got a quarterback transferring out and a lot of uncertainty just around the program, which is not something that you can usually say about TCU. Typically that program is rock solid. They're not right now. And Cal's defense has been awesome all year. The Bears never win pretty, but they always find a way to win. So I went Cal for 31.
Wow.
I love it. I have Cal for 30.
Oh.
I love that defense too. TCU, they somehow scored 24 points against Oklahoma State in their final, or 31, I think, in their final game. But other than that, they really struggled to score after the multiple quarterback injuries. And I don't see that being solved in 1 month. Give me Cal.
Sure.
30 points.
So I actually have TCU. Again, now I'm backing away from this. Everyone gets like one mulligan. Like, I had TCU for 24.
Jeez.
I don't think Cal can score either.
Well, I agree with you on that.
And so, I don't know. I just like I like Gary Patterson. Has so much experience in bowl games. 10-6 in bowl games. Obviously, he's had much better teams, but just his focus on defense in general, I think could keep Cal like literally under like 2 scores, and then TCU can, like a 17-6 win or something.
Okay. I do think the number will be super low.
Mm-hmm.
I would think. I mean, if I had to pick a score, it'd be something like Cal 17-16, something like that. But 31 points would lead you to believe I would think it'd be a larger spread. I don't know. I don't think TCU can score against Cal at all. I feel like Cal can get lucky against that defense because that defense is going to make mistakes for TCU. I don't know if Cal's going to, but 61 combined points for Bracky and I. So if that one goes TCU's direction, that'll be good news for you.
I'm planning on it.
The Independence Bowl in lovely Shreveport, Louisiana.
Our favorite place.
Yeah, I hope the elevator works, and it will be, I'm sure, a lovely environment for a bowl game. Temple and Duke. Temple's got some nasty to them. They've showed up in a couple of spots this year where I was like, wow. I mean, not the least of which was the Cincinnati game when I was on Cincinnati. So I'm trying to learn from my past mistakes. And interim head coach Ed Foley, I don't know if you guys see the clip of him talking about the Independence Bowl. He may be the only person in America who's ever been that pumped to play in the Independence Bowl. So give me Foley rallying the troops for Temple over Duke. I got 24 on it.
Wow. When I made this pick, I had not seen that video yet. I'm gonna be straight up. So I had Duke over Temple for only 3.
Okay.
But David Cutcliffe in bowl games as an underdog against the spread is he's undefeated. I want to say 6-0 with like 5 outright wins. I didn't write it down. I should have, but I just saw a stat before I made this pick. So that's what led me to pick Duke.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I have Temple 27.
There we go.
Dude.
We are opposite on this one.
Dude, Duke has been outgained and outscored this season, and they're in a bowl game.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
crazy.
Temple's won 3 in a row. This is one, though, kind of going against the philosophy of the coach leaving. But the video says it all.
Yeah, that's
Temple,
what I'm saying.
27.
Yeah, I got all the confidence in the world in that particular interim coach.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Duke's wins, though. They've beaten Army, Northwestern, Baylor, Miami. They got some wins.
What happened
Georgia Tech
against Wake Forest?
Yeah. I mean, that's the outlier of the season.
Is that an outlier or is that a new trend?
I think that's an outlier. If you look at the rest of their
I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Their 11 games.
Dude, unless Zion's suiting up for that football team.
That would be a new wrinkle. I would have to reassess.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Agree to disagree, Bracky.
I know. I'm just saying.
Pinstripe Bowl, which is a repeat of what bowl?
Orange Bowl.
Orange Bowl. Wisconsin, Miami. Miami's kind of a mess. Doak Walker Award winner Jonathan Taylor is the man. Wisconsin, I think, dominates the line of scrimmage where Miami's been suspect all year. I've got Wisconsin. I've got 14 on it.
Wow. I had the exact same.
Really?
Wisconsin 14.
There you go. Quick and easy. See, I knew we'd come back together.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, I'm separating apart.
what are you doing here?
This is a disappointment bowl.
It is that. It is that.
Yes, it is.
I like Wisconsin better. Dominating in the trenches is a strong word. Like, Wisconsin's been really weird this year, too.
Yeah, no, they have.
So, getting beat by BYU, getting beat by Minnesota. Miami's one strength, Miami's strength is its defense. And I just remember historically, Rick and Manny Diaz have had a history of slowing down a feature back. And so if they can control the running game, Wisconsin really doesn't have much of a passing game. So I think Miami wins. But I only have a confidence of 8.
Well, you are the Mark Richt whisperer among us. So. The Texas Bowl, Baylor and Vanderbilt. Bracky, what do you have?
I struggled to pick this one, not because I was like, oh man, this is a really good game. Just because like, man, this is a really bad game. I'm
pumped.
I went with Baylor. I don't know. I don't trust Vanderbilt in anything except academics.
That's fair.
I took Baylor.
In baseball.
16. Yes,
Baseball,
that's
okay.
fair point. 16 points. I don't know why it's that high, but yeah, that's my analysis. My great analysis on that game.
Mine's pretty much the same thing. I don't think that when Vanderbilt has played a quarterback as talented as Charlie Brewer, it has not gone well. Lost to Missouri, got dump trucked by Georgia. Baylor's playing in their home state. I don't know. That's about all I got.
Agreed.
All right, again, I don't know why I'm so different on these picks lately. I have Vanderbilt 30.
Oh boy.
Because you're an SEC homer.
SEC. Strength of schedule.
It just means more.
Much tougher competition. Also, Vanderbilt is a really clean team. So, least penalized team in the SEC.
Oh, I thought you meant like their uniforms. Like they just don't get dirty very much.
Yeah, I mean.
It's good for the laundry crew.
I guess. They wear black, you can't really see it. But least penalized team in the SEC, plus 8 turnover margin. While Baylor, second to last in the Big 12 in penalty yards, -9 turnover margin. So they get sloppy. Vanderbilt stays clean. They've played really good competition. I love Derek Mason. Vandy by 30.
Okay.
Dang.
Baylor 16. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm kind of rethinking it now, though, given my limited research, and Gunter's clearly done plenty of research on that one.
I'm an SEC homer. Don't trust it.
The Music City Bowl. I'll ride with the SEC in this one. I'll be Team SEC. Auburn over Purdue in the Music City Bowl. I've got 17 on it. Gus Malzahn back to calling plays. And his future at Auburn really depends on him still being good at that. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like...
You're the Malzahn whisperer, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know. It's been a while. But I've been really underwhelmed by their offense for a few years now. But it hasn't been Malzahn primarily as the play caller. So, see if he has a little magic left in him. And I think Auburn's defense can keep Rondale Moore corralled. So, I got Auburn 17. I think I said that already. But
Go ahead, Gunter.
I'm same boat. I have 15. I was just going to say, Malzahn might have the most motivation in this game versus like any of his players. So I think he's going to, do all he can with the offense. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I don't want to pick Auburn, but I will because I also love Rondale Moore.
Yeah, so do I. I love everything about Purdue's program this year. They're a fun watch.
For sure.
But
I
don't know.
I like Braun. I like how he committed to Purdue. Because I remember last time we were on here, we talked about him possibly going to Louisville.
Yeah.
But I got Auburn 15.
I don't know, man. Sounds like you guys kind of hate Purdue. I got Purdue with 6 points. Jeff Brom is a man. Rondale Moore is a man. Tyler Trent's a man. It'd be awesome if he's there. And if he is, it's game over. Give me Purdue, 6 points.
Okay. Next up is a bowl game that is near and dear to Bracky's heart, the Camping World Bowl, which will feature West Virginia and Syracuse. And Kyle, you go ahead and start off here.
Yeah, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your life savings and I want you to bet it on Syracuse. The game opened.
Fan of the year.
Game opened at 7 points in favor of West Virginia. It's down to 1.5 after Will Greer, Yadni Kajus announcing we're not playing. I don't see the motivation for West Virginia to want to be there whatsoever. You got passed over on a bowl for Iowa freaking State. I
only have Gunter for 20 more minutes, so I can't let you go back
Sorry.
on that one again.
Keep going.
I don't know. This is they're not going to show up, and I think it's going to be ugly. Eric Dungy's going to do whatever he wants to that defense. Syracuse 34 points.
Okay.
That's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking, but it's unfortunately the truth.
The reason I didn't put my confidence higher is for you, Bracky.
I appreciate you being nice.
I have it at 18 for Syracuse. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But But yeah, I mean, you summed it up well. I mean, also this is Syracuse first bowl game in a while, so
Yeah,
They'll
I
be
think
jazzed.
they win. They get to 10 wins. That's amazing. What Dino Babers has done there.
Yeah, well, it's definitely like a tale of two completely different teams coming into this in terms of the mood. And you already said it all. No Greer, no Kajus, no Jake Spavital. I don't know what impact that has, but, I mean, it can't be a benefit. And no interest in playing in the game. So I, too, will go with the orange for 29.
Yeah, don't blame you.
The other bowl game that has been a hot topic on this show is the Alamo Bowl, which will be Washington State playing Big 12 team Iowa State, not to be confused with West Virginia. And
Hilarious.
I'll just gloss over it real quickly for your benefit. I went Washington State for 27 points. Gardner Minshew's last hurrah at Washington State. Iowa State's obviously a pretty scary opponent for them because they can ugly it up, but this particular Mike Leach team has shown that they can play that type of game too. So, wazoo.
Minshew, man.
Minshew.
I'm with you. I got 31 Washington State. Iowa State does have a pretty tough defense, especially against the run. Washington State doesn't run it. They're fine. They'll sling it all over the place. 31 Washington State.
This might shock you. I have 13 in favor of Iowa State. Watching what they did to Will, I know it was in Ames, in the night game in the illegal black uniforms, but I was very impressed, and they've been great all year. And I don't know, Washington State doesn't fare well in these games very often. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, I'll go with Iowa State.
Okay.
13.
The Belk Bowl, South Carolina, Virginia. Gunter, what do you have for this one?
I got South Carolina 33. They've actually
His face.
SEC. Did I pick all SEC teams in their games?
You might have.
On accident?
Yeah.
They've improved over the year, actually. And, their offense actually really impressed me against Clemson. I know it wasn't really a close game. Obviously, you just never felt like it was going to be an upset. But Bentley's gotten better. The whole offense has gotten better. Debo's last game. And UVA's lost a couple brutal ones lately.
Yeah, the Virginia Tech loss was cool.
That was
that's
rough.
tough. So I like USC.
I, too, am on South Carolina for 18 for all the things that you just said.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
I took your notes.
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly. I have it. Oh, I just lost it. 11 points for South Carolina.
All right. The Arizona Bowl, Arkansas State, Nevada, the home state Red Wolves for me, with Edmond Santa Fe product Justice Hansen behind center. I'll go Arkansas State. Hansen can sling it if he's not playing Alabama, and I'm not betting on him. So I'll go Arkansas State for 20.
20?
Mm-hmm.
Bracky?
I have Arkansas State for 26. I really like this matchup for them. I think they are better than Nevada and win this one pretty handily.
Yeah. Y'all know way more about Arkansas State than I do, but I got them for 2.
We were on them early in the season together.
Tried to be, yeah.
So don't mess with the experts. Arkansas State 2, body clock game for Nevada.
Oh, there it is.
Love it.
I was waiting for a good body clock game.
10:15 a.m. their time kickoff.
The Military Bowl. They were confused and they didn't invite any military teams, but they have Cincinnati, who plays great defense, and Virginia Tech, who, I don't know, finds ways to beat Virginia.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's defense is not a joke. Virginia Tech's offense has been kind of a joke for the better part of this year. I'm not really sure what's going on with Fuente and that team, aside from the obvious fact that they lost their quarterback early on. I like Cincinnati. I got 23 on it.
Yep, I'm with you. I have Cincinnati 28. VT also, it's weird that they don't have a really good defense.
Yeah, it's been a weird year for them in
It's been Buzz
general.
Foster's worst year.
Yeah.
Like 3 games this year have been like the ODU game was like the most passing yards he'd ever given up, and then that got replaced by another game, and then that got replaced by another game. So yeah, it's been a really weird year. I have 12 for Cincinnati.
The Red Box Bowl, first of all,
It's still a thing.
yeah. So that's exactly what I wanted to say. How is Redbox still in business?
I don't know. And it's not even like they're good movies.
No, and
Like,
also
they're usually trash movies.
Yeah.
like they're always older.
That are
you
years
never,
old, yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
never get the new releases, and they're always like at these random like McDonald's and Walgreens and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand their business model. I don't know how they're still a thing.
I'm not going to go outside. I'm not going to leave my house to go get a movie.
Well, I mean, I laugh, but literally no. Like, why would you? Like, at this point, what is it? Voodoo, I think, is the movie service that I have. Where it's like all new stuff, and it's all on my couch, and it's the same exact price as if I went to Redbox.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they still have a bowl game.
Maybe it's too expensive for them to go pick them up. So they've just been sitting there, like since before there was Netflix. And like that.
Still have like Jurassic Park in there. It's like their
Yeah.
new release.
Yeah.
Well, their bowl game will feature the Oregon Ducks, who I have failed miserably to peg this year, and Michigan State, who is incredibly uninspiring. My point total here may surprise you. I hate Michigan State so much that I put 32 on Oregon.
I literally have 32 as well.
Do you?
I hate Michigan State. They
They're-
should have lost to Rutgers.
Yeah,
the last
that
game of the
Rutgers game
season.
is
They
literally,
should've.
I can't get it out of my
Neither
head.
can I. And the Ohio State game where they couldn't get the ball across the 50 at any point during the game. Like, it was just, their offense is atrocious.
Their offense was so bad that it actually, like, their offense was Ohio State's best defense.
Yes,
If that makes sense.
100%. Yes.
I feel like we chimed in. What do you got?
No, I'm with you. They just can't score. They're anemic. And if you can't score and you're playing Oregon,
That's not
like
good.
I know they have a great defense, but come on.
Yeah.
So I got 21 for Oregon.
Last 3 games, 6, 14. And the 14 was against Rutgers.
That's
And
not
they
good.
were losing 10-7 with under 2 minutes to go in the game.
And I'll say this too, like Oregon, usually if you're picking Oregon, you're at least admitting that, okay, they probably aren't going to win the game up front, but they've got the dudes on the outside to
Yep.
beat you, out-athlete you. But this Oregon team actually is pretty strong up front. I think that they can definitely, go head-to-head with Michigan State in the trenches, and then their athletes are freaking crazy. So,
Yep.
And then some dude named Justin Herbert, who I keep hearing is a great quarterback, but I
Yeah,
haven't
he's not
seen
bad.
him since like late September.
It's probably his last game.
Yeah, you would think. The Liberty Bowl. I hate this game. It's Missouri, Oklahoma State, 2 of my least favorite programs, with all due respect. I want to pick Oklahoma State because if I got to pick one, I'll always side with the Cowboys over the Tigers, but especially since they took Kelly Bryant away from Arkansas. I'm still bitter. But I don't see any way that Oklahoma State can stop Drew Lock. So I went Missouri for 28 over OSU.
Wow. I went Missouri 4. I don't know who's going to win this game. I think it's going to be really high scoring, and it's just going to come down to whoever doesn't turn the ball over or whoever has it last.
Yep.
Kind of type thing. Missouri 4.
Oklahoma State's another one of those teams, like we said, like the Minnesotas or like the.
Well, what is this? Something crazy, right? Like they have 5
They have
wins
6 wins.
against top 25 teams, something like that.
6 wins. They beat Texas, West Virginia, and Boise State.
And they had Oklahoma.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
The guy was open on the 2-point conversion, just a bad pass away from beating Oklahoma. It's ridiculous.
That was great coverage on the play, actually, I thought.
I could have used that. But yeah, I got Missouri 29.
Here we go.
Drew Lock against a Big 12 defense.
Yeah, I think he lights them up, man. The Holiday Bowl, one of my favorite bowl games, is a matchup that it's Northwestern, Utah, and I went back and forth on it, and somehow ended up at 13 points in favor of Northwestern. I think it's anybody's guess, but if I got to go with somebody, I'll go with Pat Fitzgerald and his actual starting quarterback over Utah, who's been banged up.
Yeah, I don't get this line. 7 points in favor of Utah.
I know.
With
Utah just doesn't make sense, though. Like, they shouldn't
I
keep
guess
winning,
just
and
because
they
they
do
played
anyway.
Washington close in the Pac-12 championship game. Like, is that what this is based
That
on?
game was disgusting.
It was gross.
Ew. It's like a baseball score.
I have Northwestern 17.
Yeah, I actually have Utah 17. This is the one that got lost in the shuffle. 17 might be the point total. Sure.
Sure. The Tax Slayer Bowl, Texas A&M, North Carolina State. You have strong feelings on this one?
I do. A&M 34.
Wow.
They're
I
good.
also
Like
have
I
A&M
think A&M is actually pretty good. They have if this was the week after their win over LSU, then I'd hangover,
Yeah.
play till 2 in the morning, what a game. But they have time. I think Fisher still is going to have the motivation. This team has the motivation to still like build an identity, build a new A&M brand for recruiting purposes and just forward momentum. And I know NC State, like, people love that quarterback, but I've never been impressed with him when I've seen him play. So A&M 34.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I have 33 on it with
That's
A&M.
crazy. I have 34, so we're like on the exact same
right.
page.
Yeah,
Finally.
NC State is just one of the. They're like South Florida. I think they've been fake good all year.
Yeah.
I think they would have been exposed if we got to see that West Virginia game in September. They give up a ton of points, and like you said, Finley has not been super impressive all year.
Agreed. I would talk, but I'd just be repeating everything y'all just said. Sun Bowl, Stanford, Pitt. Stanford's back in their old winter home down there in El Paso. I feel like that back in their lesser years, they were always playing.
They're
in the Sun
there a
Bowl.
lot, yes.
Pitt can't throw it at all. Stanford's obviously been really disappointing, but I expect them to still be Stanford when they're playing Pitt. So I went Stanford for 26.
Same. Stanford 22. Is another one of those situations where, you want to Stanford can really throw the ball. You don't want to keep them off the field. Pitt can't run, so I think Stanford, even if Pitt can run early and like Stanford struggles early, eventually the passing game will break out and Pitt just can't score to keep up.
Yeah.
I have Stanford 29. How about this fun fact? In the ACC championship game, Pitt had more punts than passing yards.
That seems suboptimal.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's
There you go.
impossible.
Well, apparently it is not.
Oh my goodness.
Don't ever say that Pitt didn't do anything awesome.
Bracky just did something awesome. I give him that stat.
The Outback Bowl, Mississippi State, Hail State. You got Iowa. There was some thought that Montez Sweat and or Jeffrey Simmons might sit this one out. They're not going to sit it out. They're both going to play. That's bad news for Iowa. I think Mississippi State may have the best defense in the country. If not, they're no less than top 5. I put 35 points on Mississippi State.
Well said. 34, Mississippi State.
I like Mississippi State. I only went 10. I don't know if that was one of the ones that got lost in the shuffle there or what, but all the reasons you guys said, don't see Iowa scoring enough to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. The Citrus Bowl, Penn State and Kentucky. And I got a number here that's going to blow y'all away. But first, SEC guy, what do you think?
So I think this might be the only SEC team I didn't pick.
Okay.
I don't think Kentucky's was fake good as like the other teams we mentioned.
No, they're much more legit than the other teams.
But I don't think that they're on a level to compete with Trace McSorley and Penn State. So I only have 16 on Penn State, but I actually feel pretty good about it.
Go ahead.
I've got Penn State for 40.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know how Kentucky is going to consistently get yards and score points against them. They've struggled to do that all year against everybody. But Penn State's defense has shown up for the majority of the year. And more importantly, McSorley's last game for the Nittany Lions, I expect them to show up and ball out.
Yeah.
So I've got Penn State big.
I have 36 for Penn State.
Nice.
They're just going to stack the box and make Kentucky try to beat them through the air, which they will not be able to do.
Nope.
Agree to agree. All right, on to the New Year's Six Bowls. The Sugar Bowl featuring your beloved Georgia Bulldogs against Texas. Lead off, sir.
I'm just trying to find the number. 37.
Okay.
Texas. No, I'm just joking. Dogs. I just don't think they can handle the offensive line. That's the biggest thing. I think Georgia can just run it down their throats. And then if Texas really wants to try and stack the box, then we'll throw all over them.
Sure.
And they have good receivers. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
They have good receivers. And Ellinger is a gamer. But we do have our defensive backfield has looked really, really strong. So I just don't think they can keep up.
He could be a gamer all he wants.
Right.
That Oklahoma defense was able to kind of control him in the Big 12 championship game to a degree, and that Georgia defense is far, far superior to anything that he saw in the Big 12 this year. I think Georgia suffocates Texas. I think the only shot Texas has is if y'all are just hung over from the SEC championship.
That's my fear because we already played in Louisiana once. All the dogs went to New Orleans and then Baton Rouge. It was terrible. So I just don't want there to be any kind of, disappointment factor. We're in the Sugar Bowl. The program's in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So, I hope that they're proud and they show up, and I think they will be. Especially you see players like DeAndre Baker's playing.
Yeah.
When you're a top
That's huge.
10, 15 corner overall, and you're a cornerback, like pretty risky. But I love that attitude.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've got Georgia for 39. What'd you do?
39.
39. All right.
Y'all think
They're
more
gonna
points on Georgia than I
they're gonna
do.
run the ball at will against Texas.
Yeah,
West
I
Virginia
agree.
ran for over 200 yards
Yep.
on Texas, and Georgia has a much better offensive line and running backs.
Totally agree. I think Georgia, and I told you this after the SEC championship game, I think they're one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah.
And I don't think Texas is anywhere close to on their level. Fiesta Bowl, LSU, UCF. Kyle Brackey, what do you got?
I have LSU for 37. I think what happened last year with UCF and Auburn is a really good wake-up call to whoever UCF was going to play.
Mm-hmm.
And now you go against one of the best defenses in the country. Devin White's playing. Greedy Williams is not, though, correct?
Correct.
Obviously, he's a big factor, but I think they're still going to be fine. And then you have Coach O, who is not going to let that team not be ready for that game.
No, they got the jaw right.
Well, Howard, all right. That's all they is. Defending national champs. What SEC football is all about.
That's right.
Gonna win us a national title.
Yes, I would like to echo everything that you and Coach O just said. I've got LSU for 36, and I think that the Auburn game last year is the best friend that he has in preparing this team because there should be no lapse in preparation. I know you disagree with us vehemently.
Yeah,
so
you
go
told
ahead.
us
Yeah,
last
I
night.
told y'all last night without any good reasons. So
You're just pissed at LSU.
I'm pissed at LSU. I am pissed at LSU. I do. Their defense is legit. I also love Dariel Mack coming in and playing really well for UCF. I know UCF gets a bad rep, but the fact that they showed up against Auburn, they're gonna have all the motivation in the world to show up again. So I got UCF back-to-back national champions.
How many points?
1 point.
Okay. All right.
Why not?
The Rose Bowl, Ohio State, Washington. I feel like Ohio State's finally looking like we expected Ohio State to look these last couple of games. It's Meyer's last game, so there's that. I don't really know what that's going to mean to them one way or another, but it's also pretty much Ryan Day's team now, and they sold early in the year when that was the case, when Meyer was out. I think they've hit their stride. I think Haskins will have a really nice game against what is a really good Washington defense. I put 37 points on it for Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my point total. 35.
35.
Ohio State.
only-
Meyer's first Rose Bowl, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Surprised me.
I only have 15 on Ohio State. The Washington secondary is very good, and I think can present some problems to Dwayne Haskins. But does the Washington offense have enough to beat Ohio State? I don't think they do.
That is very likely an astute observation because
Thank you.
they are strong on defense, no question about that. The Peach Bowl, Michigan, Florida. What'd you do with that, Bracky?
I have Michigan 24. Florida is not that good.
No.
Like, if you look at their schedule,
Makes
I'm
me
gonna
so happy.
take a second to pull it up here. But I don't know. Michigan, they want to get that taste out of their mouth from that Ohio State game. Yeah, you guys talk about it, and then I'll read you off Florida's fake schedule.
Okay, great. I think Michigan's vastly superior to Florida. Shea Patterson is still one of my favorite players to watch, so I'm hoping that he'll have a big day. Regardless of whether or not he has a big day, though, I don't know how Florida's offense is going to breathe against that Michigan defense. So I went 33 points for Michigan.
Well said. I have 32 for Michigan. Again, I'm not sold on this offense at all. I know that they've played well recently, but I'll let Bracky run through the schedule, but I just don't think they've impressed me at all.
9 wins. Some of those came against Charleston Southern, Colorado State, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Idaho, and Florida State.
How did they beat LSU?
That's not a top 10
I
team.
don't,
Right,
that's
they have
the one I can't figure out.
Yeah, they have the LSU win. They got kind of dominated by Georgia. They got killed at home by Missouri.
Yeah.
They lost at
Love
home to Kentucky. Just they're overrated.
Yep. Okay, and then on to the playoffs. We have almost reached the end destination here. Cotton Bowl, Clemson, Notre Dame. I think Clemson's defense is elite. Notre Dame hasn't seen anything remotely similar to that from an opposing defense this year. I'm a little scared of it because everybody seems to be on Clemson so heavy, but I'm also on Clemson heavy. I think Trevor Lawrence balls. I think Travis Etienne balls. And I think Clemson wins big. I put 38 points on Clemson.
Did the exact same thing. 38 points.
There you go.
Just too much on both sides. Too much in the trenches. God, that defensive line is just so good that they have somewhat of a leaky secondary, but I don't think it's going to matter. And I also think that Clemson will score, not at will, but handedly.
Yeah.
I got 40 on it.
Whoa.
Clemson all day, every day.
Dang.
I love it.
40 burgers.
Drop the 40 burger on Notre Dame. Okay. Sorry, Notre Dame. That was a rough segment for you.
I'm not sorry.
Last, certainly not least, the Orange Bowl. Oklahoma and Alabama. Gunter, what are you doing here?
You're not going to start us off with your team?
No, I'll close it out. I want the last word here.
All right. I'm sorry, man. I put 36 on Bama. We talked about this game a lot. Like, I think Kyler's going to get his points. OU's offense is elite. No one is doubting that. Kyler, very deserving of the Heisman Trophy. Tua's going to be pissed. Looking at Kyler Murray, Heisman Trophy winner, coming to play them in the playoffs. I mean, unless OU can somehow score 60 points, which I don't see happening at all, I don't think that I think Alabama could score every time they had the ball. So I got 36 on Bama.
I have 38 on Bama, and I thought that was being nice to Oklahoma.
That's how much they're going to
No,
win by.
like coming in to almost all season.
Thanks for not putting 40 on Bama. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, my point is, like, Bama's been such a huge favorite on everyone all year. You know, it would be a 40, like, without even thinking for a lot of people.
Right.
Like, that just shows, like, how good Kyler Murray is, essentially.
Okay.
And their offensive skill players. I just think Alabama outscores them and gets a stop or two or a turnover or two. Kyler turned the ball over twice against Texas in the regular season, twice against West Virginia. Just got to be really careful. You can't do that against Alabama.
No question.
I see it as like a 52-38, something like that. Like, there's going to be points on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma's going to get theirs.
Mm-hmm.
You're both probably absolutely right. However, Lincoln Riley is the best play caller in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia provided a pretty decent blueprint for how to attack Alabama. Lincoln Riley will take that blueprint and he will turn it into a Michelangelo masterpiece. Kyler will do what Kyler does.
Here we go.
Colby will do what Colby does.
All the Oklahoma defense has to do is just force a couple of turnovers. It'll be West Virginia all over again. Oklahoma wins 58-55. I put 21 points on it.
Wow. What? Respect. That is such a high point total.
Hey, that's why we play the game, right?
Dude, if Alabama gives up 50 points in a game, Nick Saban will cut all of his players.
He might just go ahead and, like, forfeit the game. And be like, yeah, even if they win, he'd be like, yeah, you guys really won.
That's talking about, like, I do like that blueprint comment. I think that's smart, and I think he will take some from that. Problem is, I think that Saban, for the first time, is going to have a lot to critique on this team. And so, saying that team needs cleanup is ridiculous, but they'll get it. But it sure as hell is going to be a fun game to watch. And then
we hope. And
then natty prediction? Too early?
Well, I would take Oklahoma over Clemson. How about that?
Alabama over Clemson.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take Clemson.
Okay, there you go. So again, we'll log these picks to
Georgia.
ESPN's Bowl Mania. The group name is FloFootball. So feel free to jump in and compete with us. We'll be back at it in the new year. Until then, have a happy holiday season, a Merry Christmas. Enjoy your eggnog. And remember that the key to running the bootleg
is doing it naked.